Good morning, everybody. This is the reading assignment for today, which is Friday, April 17th. I'm starting on the top of page 129. Edwin spoke. 3 weeks ago, the crew of a fishing boat returning from Drake claimed that they had seen a white bear on an island near where Cole was banished. I might have questioned the report if one of the crew hadn't been Bernie. "Who's Bernie?" asked the keeper. Edwin waved his hand. "Just a friend, but I've known Bernie my whole life, and he's not a man to lie." "I don't care if there's a black bear, a white bear, or a yellow one with green polka dots," said Peter's lawyer. "What matters is that Cole broke his contract with the Circle, and now it's time for him to pay. We give him chance after chance, and at the same time we tell him he has to face the consequences of his actions." The lawyer raised her voice almost to a shout. "No more chances!" Cole breathed slowly. He felt strong enough now to face whatever happened. He could admit that he was no longer in control, and he knew he could tell the truth. But could he control his anger? Even now it smoldered. The keeper spoke with a rigid voice. "We can't just build another cabin, buy more supplies, and start over if nothing happened. Circle justice isn't blind. It's about facing consequences." "Why don't we just send him away to Disney World for a year?" said Peter's lawyer sarcastically. "This time there would be no free ride," Edwin said. "If we sent him back to the island, Cole would build his own cabin and pay for every penny of the supplies by selling his own things, selling things he owns and values. It would be much harder than before." The keeper spoke with resignation. "We have no way of knowing if Cole is over his anger." Cole motioned for the feather. "I know I had a chance once and messed it up, so I don't expect to go back to the island." He shook his head. "Edwin told me once that anger was a memory never forgotten. He's right. When I was mauled, I didn't get over my anger. I still feel it, even now, sitting in this chair. But I've also learned it takes a stronger person to ask for help and to tell the truth. I am telling the truth when I say I saw a spirit bear." During the following weeks, Cole mentally prepared himself for the inevitable. He imagined attending a trial and hearing the verdict, guilty. He imagined being led in handcuffs from the courtroom and for the first time being locked in a real jail cell. The hardest thing was to imagine being locked up day after day, week after week, month after month. While Cole worked through his feelings, he exercised. For long hours each morning and evening, he lay on the small bed, swinging his arms and legs, arching his back, and stretching to keep his body from stiffening. Midday, he worked out on weights in the center group area. He found himself growing stronger, and he found that when he had angry thoughts, he could exercise himself into a sweaty frenzy until pain from his joints drove away his thoughts and left him spent. So how is Cole dealing with his anger? I think he's learning how to deal with it, because you can't get rid of it, but he's learning how to deal with it. No amount of exercise, however, could bring back strength to Cole's right arm and hand. It was all he could do to lift a shirt. Garvey explained to Cole after the second gathering that the Circle would continue meeting without him. He wouldn't say exactly why, but he did say that Edwin had remained in Minneapolis to attend the meetings. During the next 2 weeks, Edwin stopped by to visit several times. He never said much, but he studied Cole the way a person looks at a chessboard planning the next move. So what do you think Edwin's trying to figure out about Cole? When he spoke, he asked pointed questions without explaining himself, and after each visit, he left without saying goodbye. All he ever mumbled was, "Gotta go." Nathaniel Blackwood stopped by unexpectedly one day to announce that he was no longer be Cole's lawyer. Cole's father had refused to pay any additional legal fees, and now a public defender would be assigned. Barely 2 days later, Garvey and Edwin stopped by together. They sat down on Cole's bed and stared at him. "What are you staring at?" Cole asked. "So you think you're changed, huh?" grunted Edwin. "What difference does it make?" said Cole. He looked down at his feet. "I feel different." "That's evidence." How so? Said Garvey. It's hard to explain, Cole said. You better try. Edwin's voice left no room for discussion. Cole quit trying to think of answers with his head, and instead he let his feelings answer. After I was mauled, when I thought I was going to die, I felt just like a plant or something, like I wasn't important. I didn't know why I even existed. That scared me. I know it doesn't make any sense, but I realized that I was dying, and I never really even lived. Nobody trusted me. I had never loved anybody, and nobody ever really loved me. Edwin and Garvey exchanged a glance. So how did that change things? Garvey asked. I don't know, Cole said, emotions welling up in deep inside. I really don't know. I just know that my dad's not going to ever come back to say he's sorry. Even if he did, he couldn't change what he did. He couldn't take away the memories. So you think this is all his fault, huh? Asked Edwin. No, said Cole, his voice trembling. Mom said his parents beat him up too. I don't know where all the anger started. All I know is that I don't ever want to have a kid and beat him up. Cole wiped at his eyes. What makes you think you're better than your dad or his parents? Asked Garvey. I'm no better, Cole said. I'm worse. Dad never ended up in jail. Not yet, Garvey said. So if you are worse, what makes you think things can be different for you? Cole swallowed hard. Maybe they can't. Maybe I'll never change. All I know is that things happen on the island that I can't explain. I've never been so scared. So what's that telling us about Cole? That line right there. I can't explain. I've never been so scared. When Edwin and Garvey didn't answer, Cole found himself irritated. What's with all the questions? He asked. You two are wasting your time now. Are we? Edwin asked. Cole fought back tears, blurring his vision. You two are the only ones that ever cared about me, he blurted. It's not like I don't appreciate what you're doing, but I screwed everything up. I'm going to jail. Can't you see that? Why don't you just leave me alone now and quit wasting your time? Garvey cleared his throat strongly and rubbed at his neck. Edwin and I are probably the biggest two fools alive. Or maybe we remember our own past too well, Edwin added. We still believe in you and think there's hope, Garvey said. Because of that, we've stuck our necks out so far we feel like two giraffes. Last night we convinced the Circle to release you to our custody. What do you mean, your custody? Cole asked. You're going back to the island, Edwin said. Okay, it's your job to come up with the questions. This is a good chapter in my opinion, so can't wait to hear from you.